Hi everyone, this is Jiggie, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So right now I'm going to take you behind the scenes while I shoot these beautiful dancers from the Halili-Cruz School of Ballet here at the pier at La Ia. Okay, so with that out of the way, as you can see here, we have our beautiful dancer. Her name is Angela, and we are actually waiting for the sun to set for us to be able to get some beautiful, beautiful sky in the back. We're hoping today that we might be able to get some pastel colors, but I want to run through whatever it is that I am using first before we actually start shooting. So the camera that I am using is the Sony Alpha 1. This is the newest camera from Sony, and to be honest, I am loving it so much. And the lens that I am using is an 85mm 1.4 GM. So the reason why I want to use an 85mm 1.4 is so that I can bring in a bit of compression and make the PR smaller and make our subject bigger. Because one thing that you have to remember when you're shooting an environmental portrait like this is you have to make sure you focus on your subject. Sometimes photographers get overwhelmed by taking too much of the scene and forgetting about their subject. So this time with an 85mm, we are focusing directly on the subject, making her very big in the frame and blending her properly towards the scene. Now, I am also going to be underexposing the image. As you can see here, again, I have an ND8 filter here. This is an Hoya ND8, which cuts light by about 4 stops. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to stay within my flash sync speed and still shoot wide open. So the flash sync speed, as I've discussed in some earlier videos of this fantastic Alpha 1 camera, is 1/400. Therefore, I am able to maximize the power of my flash, which is this one. This is a Sony f60RM. So the Sony f60RM is controlled remotely using the WRC1M remote commander that's here on top of my camera. And by doing that, I am actually able to control my flash settings within the in-menu system of my Sony camera. So right now, I am about 1 1/3 stops underexposed, and I have my light span here making sure to hold on to the light because I want the natural direction because the sun will set from here. And once the sun sets from here, the light will be coming from this direction. So whenever you're lighting with external flash, it's always best to light from the natural direction of the light. That's why this may look like a very precarious location for my flash, but don't worry, I actually have it very sturdy on the Magmod Mag shoe. That's why I am very confident about my flash being there. Plus, I have my Magmod Mag spear and a grid so that I can just focus the light on her. Now, depending on the color of the sun that comes out later, I might even put a CTO gel. Alright, so let's do some test shots before we actually shoot later, because after this one we will probably wait for the sun to start setting and see what types of colors we can get from the sky. Alright, Angela, are we ready? On the count. 1, 2, 3, go. Very nice. So we'll make my flash at full power. Okay, on the count. 1, 2, 3, go. Very nice. Right now, my flash may seem as if it's too weak, but later when the sun sets, the exposure will actually change. That's when I will discuss what exposure I will be using later. Okay? So I knew that the sun was going to set on the left side of the pier, but I was still hoping to get a good burst of colors right in front. Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate and that didn't happen, but there was still a burst of color towards the left side, so I had now to recompose. But in the rush of recomposing, I actually forgot to press the record button on my Atomos Ninja, which was recording the live view of the actual camera of what I was seeing and what I was shooting. And it also had my main mic connected to it. So unfortunately now, I will have to explain to you what happened because my audio wasn't as great as how I would want it to be. Plus, I am not able to give you a live view from my camera of the actual shoot. So here goes. On the count, 1, 2, 3, go. Wait, this is gonna be nice. So as you can see from there, I actually shifted from shooting straight down the pier towards the right a little bit so I could shoot the dancer towards the left where the sun gave us some beautiful colors in the clouds. Yung ilaw pakiayos, tutok mo sa kanya please. So basically here, I was telling the assistant to face the light towards the subject. That's why one of my friends here, Daryl, had to rush because he couldn't understand what I wanted him to do. If you notice, the light was actually pointed downwards instead of towards the subject. And at this point, I think I had the CTO filter already installed so that to make the color more orange to match that of the sunset. Very nice. Okay, so now we're gonna put it on shutter speed priority, keep myself over 140 or 140. That shot. Too strong. Okay, so I don't know if you heard that, but basically I shifted my camera to shutter speed priority. Normally, when I am shooting sunsets, I try to control my shutter speed so that I can stay within my flash sync speed. In this case, for the A1, it was 1/400. So the moment I set it on shutter speed priority, I put it on 1/400 and let the camera decide what aperture it wanted to give. At this point, I think it gave us an aperture of 1.8, and then I dialed in the power of my flash to match that aperture of 1.8. Now, the reason why I do that is so that I can get the most out of my flash. So when you're shooting in shutter speed priority, you are shooting within the flash sync speed of the camera, therefore you are maximizing the power of your flash. If I put it in aperture priority and I shot it at 1.4, then I would have been shooting in high speed sync, which would dramatically decrease the power of my flash. So you guys remember that whenever you're shooting, especially if you want to make the most out of your flash. Especially with this one, I was just using a small Speedlight, which was the Sony f60 RM. So we'll make it 1/4 power, 116. Tutok sa kanya, please. Some more, some more. Wait.
Hirap ito kalaban kasi natin, nature. Hindi mo pwedeng, wait, diyan ka lang!
I put in a grid because I like it. I don't want to spill off the light. Okay, so what I did there was when I did my test shot and I dialed in the power of my flash, I realized, I think if you heard it, I think I was on 1/16th power. I realized that the spill of the light was too broad. That's why I went in and stacked the mag grid in order for me to be able to focus the light a bit more. So by doing that, I am actually making the flash weaker, so therefore I probably increase the power of my flash also afterwards. And we're gonna try to get this one there.
Sobrang ganda.
Anna?
Yes, sorry.
I need a bit of help in terms of her pose. This is the composition.
Okay.
There. So how should we compose her?
Forward siya? Ay, gusto mo paharap.
Gabby, maybe move here? There. Okay. Anna is actually the head of the Halili-Cruz School of Ballet. And guys, don't be ashamed to ask for help. I was asking her because we already fixed basically the composition and the pose for the initial layout. But then since we had to shift, I needed a little bit of help for me to be able to get the proper dance pose for this particular scene. Now, of course, since they know more about dance, it was only logical for me to ask for their help. There, that's how she's gonna look like.
Can she forward pa, no?
Alright, go.
Forward ka pa. Sige pa, sige pa.
There.
Yan, okay.
There. Okay, and then, what pose
Patingin?
should you do?
1, 2, 3.
Will that be okay?
Hindi, ganyan na lang. 1, 2, 3, and... Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
But remember, face the left. Okay. Alright. On the count. 1, 2, 3, go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below and I'll gladly answer them when I have the time. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see some of my images or more of my images, you could also follow me on Instagram. It's at Jiggie Alejandrino. Okay, till the next video.